Welcome everybody to our shiur of Hilulah that we did first time at Lashem. It's really it's a moment that finally we got to this moment that we did the Hilulah of our Fettaya. We never did it before. We did all the Hilulot, not all, a lot. Baba Sali, Baba Cherebi, the Alter Rebbe, the Ramak, the Ari, the Ben Ish Chai, the Ramchal. We did so many tzaddikim. And for so many years I've tried without any success to do the Hilulah of Fettaya, which is such an amazing Rav. He wasn't just a Rav. He was, they say about Rav Nachman of Breslov, he was Mitaken HaNeshamot, the fixer of souls. Rav Fettaya was the fixer of souls. Muvan Hamila, but any way you could understand it, he was the fixer of souls. But I'm not here so much tonight to tell you stories of his, how he did miracles and stuff. It wasn't really miracles. I want to tell you guys who was the man. Who was Rabbi Fettaya? And he's most famous for his book Minchat Yehuda, which talks about his experiences with the souls, with the dibuks, with the souls that take control over human bodies. Rabbi Fettaya writes very famously in Minchat Yehuda, Parashat Sefer Yecheskel. He writes, any person with a psychological disease has a dibuk inside of him. Scientists, doctors, psychologists have no cure for psychological diseases. Absolutely none. They give them what? They give the symptoms. Rabbi Fettaya says if you would take a guy, a Mekubal, who knows his stuff, and he would send him inside a mental house, and he would do what he needs to do over there, he could fix all of them. Because there are none. They're finished. And we're trying our best. And Rabbi Fettaya, he fixed in his lifetime many nishamot, and to the point in his Sefer Minchat Yehuda, which all the tzaddikim, Hasidim even Hasidim. I was once in a yeshiva and I told the rabbi, I'm going to teach the book Minchat Yehuda. He asked me to teach. I didn't teach his book. And he's like, when I was a kid, I learned this book. Hasidim. He said to one of the souls, tell the souls in heaven, the ones that are in Kafakela, that can't go to hell and can't go to heaven, come to Yehuda ben Chana. She asked, and here I go, what kind of gava he has to say that? It's not gava, it's a fact. He could have done it and he did it. And when he was fixing the nishamot, I'm gonna tell you one story how he fixed the nishamot. There was, when he was born, I told you guys this story yesterday. And it's a zechut for a person who will able to cut this part of the speech out and just put on the koteret, on the title, what happens when the daughter-in-law doesn't fight with the mother-in-law. You should put just like that on the title and send it out. Rabbi Fettaya's mother, her name was Chana. His father's name was Rav Moshe. And they lived with his mother. She lived with her mother-in-law. And she wasn't such a nice lady.
The mother.
Yeah. Rav Moshe's mom. She used to make jangalzi all the time. All the time. She didn't clean the carpet. She didn't cook the food right. You don't take care of my son right. How come you don't have any baby boys? I know for a fact that in the Sephardic world it's a big problem. It's a big problem. If a person doesn't have a boy, it's like Sofa Olam, the end of the world. What's the end of the world for? You're the end of the tikkun already. What boys you want to have? Why are you causing the young couple distress? How many couples I know? 2 couples last week talked to me. They only have girls. The wife, she's in such stress because she can't, like, relax. What's the problem? Everybody's giving me, how come not? You know what kind of averot people do when they look down at people like that? How many averot? It's unbelievable the amount of averot. First of all, the amount of stress they put on the couple, the shalom bite problems they put on the couple. It's unbelievable. And it's not a problem only in the Sephardi world. It's also a problem inside the Hasidic world. Also a problem in their world. Fettaya's mother, she went through a hell with her mother-in-law. And every day she used to complain to her husband, take my side, talk to your mother. He said, GADAEV, I can't talk to my mom. Something that's very rare in our days, this kind of talk. For the good, for the bad, I don't know. And he never said anything to his mother. He said, listen, you gotta live with it. Zeh mashe yesh. It is what it is. And she passed away, the mother-in-law. And the daughter-in-law, after the Shiva, she has a dream. We Bukharians, we're people of dreams.
Like that.
We're from Yosef, we're like that. She has a dream. Who does she see? Her mother-in-law. And they sent me for heaven to let you know that I was wrong. But I come bearing gifts. Like I said to you guys today, when it comes to Minyan today in the pouring grain, they all get gifts. I come bearing a gift. She opens up a treasure chest and just pick a jewel. And she wants to pick a jewel. Don't pick this one. Oh, there this one. See this diamond over here? It's small, it's big. Pick this, it's a diamond, pick it. And she picks the diamond and she wakes up from her dream. And she gets pregnant with her son. And they called him Yehuda. At the age of 7, he would go to the Ben Yishchai's shiur every Shabbat for 3 hours. 1 hour was on parasha, 1 hour was on halacha, 1 hour was on Kabbalah. And he used to cry to his father. Because I understand, 7-year-old boy, the first 2 parts of the lecture, I can't understand the third one.
Kabbalah. Teach me.
The Kabbalah, teach me. Right, why are you crying? I want to learn. Teach me. You just teach me. At the age of 23, him and his father wrote their first book together. Yain Harekach. The aromatic wine. It's a whole parish of the Idra Rabbah and the Idra Zuta, 2 sections of the Zohar HaKadosh, in which the Gra says whoever just learns these parts of the Zohar fulfill their obligation of learning Kabbalah in a lifetime.
Have an English?
Of course not. And the first time I ever started learning the secrets of the Torah, this was the first 2 books that I bought. First 2 books. The Yain HaRekach of Fettaya ben Hana.
The best thing to do is just to read it.
What'd you say?
That's the best thing to do, just to read it.
You gotta understand it too. Torah Shabbal Peh.
Yeah.
When it's the oral Torah, you have to understand what you're learning. You can't just read it. That's only in the written Torah. You could just read it. So, Rabbi Fettaya, one interesting story with him. When he was a young man, he had a dream. He was very into souls. And he had a friend. Who was his friend? Rav Shimon Agassi. If you come to my house, you only see 2 pictures of 2 rabbis. Rav Shimon Agassi on one side of my table, and Rabbi Fettaya on the other side of my table. That's all 2 rabbis you see in my house. And Rav Shimon Agassi was a big tzaddik. He was the spark of Moshe Rabbeinu. He used to stutter. The Ari says when Mashiach, which is Moshe, will be revealed, he will also have a stuttering problem. And when he will start to speak, his stuttering problem will stop. Yeah, it's in Sefer HaGilui, not Shar HaGilui, but Sefer HaGilui. And Rav Shimon Agassi had the same thing. When he used to speak, he used to stutter. When he used to speak Torah, he used to stop stuttering. And the crazy thing is that Rabbi Fettaya was younger than Rav Shimon Agassi. He was also much younger than the Ben Ish Chai. The Ben Ish Chai was people look at the Ben Ish Chai's picture. When you see his picture, what do you see?
Oh man.
Like a nice, loving rabbi, right? He looks like a nice rabbi.
Yeah, picture.
Yeah, so he was 26 in that picture. The truth is the opposite is true. He was a very big kapdan, the Ben Ish Chai. You know what a kapdan is? He was a very particular rabbi. Kind of like OCD. If you would go against him in one thing, he would take it to heart. People think that to be a big tzaddik, you have to let people trample all over you. That's not what to be a tzaddik means. If that would be the case, we say Hashem is a tzaddik. So that means Hashem lets anybody do whatever they want. Everybody gets to pay the piper at the end of the day. You all pay for your sins.
Where's the humbleness?
Humbleness is when somebody puts you down and you don't answer. But you have to pay the price at the end. There is a nature to the world. Okay? Now the Ben Ish Chai was a big tzaddik. Not just a big tzaddik. The review of the Fettaya himself says from the time of the Tanaim. You know what Tanaim is? The writers of the Mishnah, God saved his soul to bring it down in our generation. God saved his soul. Rav Salman Mutzafi, or Ben Zion Mutzafi, said that in his Shiva, in the Shloi Shiva of Rav Ovadia. He said that God saved the soul of Rav Ovadia from the time of the Geonim, which was 2 generations after the Tanaim. You know what the Ben Ish Chai was? He was a giant. He was a giant. They once asked the Ben Ish Chai, when is Mashiach gonna come? This was 150 years ago. And he said, when the kids start to dress like they're taking a shower. What does that mean? Like people go outside like they're not dressed. Start thinking that Mashiach is on his way. The footsteps of Mashiach is on his way. That's what Ben Ish Chai said. This was 150 years ago. I mean, we're waiting cautiously for Mashiach. Not fanatically. That means we're not gonna quit our jobs and quit school and do anything just because everything ha'olam kemin hagonohay. Mashiach has come and you're still going to school, by the way. It doesn't work like that. You're still going to school, getting an education, you're going to work, everything stays the same. Just 3 times a year you're going to the Beis HaMikdash to be Oled. That's Mashiach. I'm sorry to say it. It was Bas Rubble. Fettaya, one time when Ben Ish Chai was alive, and Rav Shimon Agassi, there was a boy who claimed he saw Eliyahu Hanavi. It's mine, don't worry about it. There was a boy who claimed he saw Eliyahu Hanavi, and when they asked the Ben Ish Chai, you know what the Ben Ish Chai said? The boy is saying the truth. The Ben Ish Chai! He sees Eliyahu Hanavi. So Rabbi Fettaya says, no, the boy is lying. I'm sorry, Rabbi, I know you're older than me, but he's lying. Ben Ish Chai says, don't mess with me. This boy is seeing Eliyahu Hanavi. Ben Ish Chai says, no, he's not seeing Eliyahu Hanavi. He is, no. Let's ask Rav Shimon Agassi. Go Shimon Agassi. She said, Ben Ish Chai is right. He's seeing Eliyahu Hanavi. Rabbi says, you know what? You guys, see, when the truth is the truth. You see, where's this humbleness? The truth is the truth, Rabbi say. I'm going to prove to you he's not seeing Eliyahu Hanavi. He tells the boy, how do you see Eliyahu Hanavi? Because whenever I call him, he comes. He says, call him. When he comes, tell him to translate this specific verse in Aramaic that's written in the book of Daniel. Why this verse? This verse in the Aramaic talks about how God at the end of the days will destroy the worlds, and including it is the realm of the demons. Yeah, tell him to translate it for you in Hebrew. The boy goes into the room, he says, Eliyahu, Eliyahu. This is in the book Minchat Yehuda. The soul comes. The Eliyahu Navi comes, quote unquote. He tells him, what do you want? He says, translate me this pasuk. He says, I can't translate you this pasuk. He says, why? He says, I don't have time. I have to write the merits of the Jewish people. He tells the boy. He says, translate. He told me you're Eliyahu Navi. The boy tells him, he says, I swear in the name of Hashem, I'm not going to do it. And he disappears. The boy comes out, says what happens. Or Ben Ish Chai is waiting over there. And the Ben Ish Chai says to Rabbi, you see, only Eliyahu Navi swears in the name of God. Rabbi says, listen to what he said. He says, I swear in the name of Hashem. He didn't say the name of God. The actual Yud Kei Vav. He said, I swear in the name of Hashem. And the Ben says, you're right. This really wasn't Eliyahu Navi. It was a demon in disguise of Eliyahu Navi. He was pretending that he was him. Rabbi Fettaya, in this case, in this realm, he was higher than the Ben Ish Chai and the Rav Shimon Agassi in this kind of case. One time, a soul, I don't want to say his name, Shem Rishayim Yirkav, I'm going to say Shabtai Tzvi, was in a guy called Bechor. Dibuk. Every time he used to pray, Shacharit, he used to have bad thoughts in his heart, telling him to convert to Protestant religion. He didn't know where these voices are coming from. Schizophrenia. And they went to the Ben Ish Chai. The Ben Ish Chai said to tell a sofer to write a mezuzah and wear it as a necklace. The guy got a mezuzah, expensive, and he wore it, didn't help him. He goes to Rabbi Yehuda Fettaya. Rabbi Yehuda Fettaya knows how to do Yichudim. You know what Yichudim is? Special meditations to get the soul inside a person to speak to him. It's scary stuff. And the soul starts to just laugh and he says, your rabbi couldn't help this guy. He told him to write a mezuzah. It would have been better if he would have put the mezuzah outside, I don't want to say what kind of house, where people sell their services. It would have helped more over there than it would with him. And he starts to laugh on the Ben Ish Chai, laugh at him. Who got the soul out of him at the end? Rabbi Yehuda Fettaya. Why? The book says word by word what was his conversation with him. Word by word. How did he get him out of him at the end? The soul didn't want to leave. He said two things. Dip inside a mikvah and read a couple of pages of Zohar a day. The Zohar is the only oral Torah that you could read and not understand. You don't have to understand. And he did it at the end. And the soul left him. The soul of this. There was one story about a guy called Yehuda. Yehuda, the son of Yonah. His sister, her name was Kiton. And she was having dreams. In her dream, she keeps on seeing like a guy is forcing himself on her. And she wakes up in her dream turning, as if it actually happened. And she wakes up and she doesn't know where it's coming from. Like 1 time, 2 times, she goes to Fettaya. He does the special meditations on her. It's called Yichudim. And he finds that her brother's inside of her.
Oh yeah.
Her brother's name was Yehuda, the son of Yonah. And the mother and the sister are like, no, it's a lie. He went to war. That knows the Turkish and the British and the Turkish were fighting against each other in Palestine. He's not dead. No, he is dead. He's dead. So the soul tells me that, tell them that I can prove that it's me, that I'm really dead. When I was a kid, my mother used to sing me this specific lullaby. And he starts, from his sister's mouth, he sang the lullaby. And they believed that he was dead. How did he die? When he was taken to war, he was a very beautiful boy. 15, 16 years old. And he used to fulfill all the needs of all the generals and the sergeants' wives. And not only them, also the sergeants and the generals themselves. Basically, the guy was so many averot, when he died, he had a klipa. You know what a klipa is? Every sin you do causes a shell. On him, 2 amot. You know what 2 amot is?
2 feet up, right?
It's close to 4 feet of klipa around him. As much as 100-year-old. And used to averot, and he didn't have to fight in the war. Why? Because he used to fulfill the needs of the, I don't want to say the goyim, both male and female. And when he died, how did he die? The plane door shut on his leg, closed on his leg. And his leg got cut off, and he died by bleeding profusely. That's how he died. And they didn't want to bury him in a Jewish burial cemetery until they found a gold ring on his finger, and they took it as payment, the chevra kaddish, and they buried him. And he had so many averot, he was so into the klipa of being with male and female, that he went into his sister's dreams and he couldn't stop himself. He was with his sister inside her dream. He was so, because when you die, you're still addicted to your addictions. Yeah, it doesn't stop when you're dead. You don't need it, but you're addicted. And that's the only story Rabbi Yehuda Fettaya wasn't able to fix the soul. She died with her brother inside her. He never fixed him. Every time he fixed him, he would go back and do shtiyot again. He would go inside a dog or a cat and do shtiyot.
It was too deep.
Couldn't fix him. His father, Yonah, he fixed. He told him, bring your father, I'm going to fix him. His father did one sin. God forbid, he was with a married woman. He used to sell merchandise, and one time he got in touch with a married woman. He said, my husband's not at home, and she said, here is a gold. I'm not going to do the whole story. He said, please, I need it. And he was with her, and he regretted. He was only with her one time. They gave him 25 years of kafakela. I'm not exaggerating. I know this story like the back of my head. 25 years of kafakela. Gehenom, you're in for 12 months. They gave him 25 years of kafakela. Lo Israel. Just because for being one time with a married woman. You know why? Because Avera. Not that she was with him, she can't be with her husband. And every time she's with her husband, what happens? The Avera multiplies and multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. 25 years of kafakela is? 25 years. No aleinu. And the Yehuda Fettaya was able to fix him. But his son, Yehuda, he couldn't fix him. There's many stories to Yehuda Fettaya. There's one famous story that when he moved to Israel, and the elder Kabbalist, the Sadeh, was there. The elder Kabbalist. There's one Kabbalist in a generation, he's called the elder. He's the authority. And there was a woman that had a mental illness, and the Sadeh said, I can't help her. Go to who? Yehuda Fettaya. And he said, make a knot with her romo, 7 knots, and say ana bakoach in every knot, and then open it. And you're gonna see it's gonna leave her. And it left. There was once a lady who used to light every day candles for Yehuda Fettaya. One time, lo aleinu, they used to have a vat of oil. They used to have gasoline, like mamash gasoline to the heat of the house, and it spilled on her baby, and nothing happened. And Yehuda Fettaya came to her in a dream and said, because you light for me a candle every day, after he passed away, I saved your child. He used to have so many stories about him, so many stories. He's just tzaddik. But there was one thing about him that stands out more than other, and this is what I take with me everywhere. Yehuda Fettaya, he never turned a Jew away. He was a Kabbalist. Kabbalists by nature are very, very particular. What does that mean, they're very particular? Person speaks in shul, check it, they go crazy. Why? Hashem! Person doesn't wear tzitzit, they go crazy. Why? Because they're so jealous for Hashem, they're so particular themselves, it hurts them. Yehuda Fettaya wasn't like that. He would accept anybody and everywhere. He loved every Jew. It was unbelievable how much he loved every Jew. Unbelievable. You read his stories, you're jealous how much he loved Jews. There was one lady at the book inside of her, he dealt with her for 1.5 years. 1.5 years. If a doctor has a patient, after 1 time, 2, 10 times already, I know we're billing the insurance, but come on, how many times could you come to me already? You're getting me tired. 1.5 years he dealt with a person. He used to know dreams, the thing of a dream, the interpretations of dreams, like the back of his hand. He used to know Gilgulim. He used to deal with demons. He used to deal with all kinds of souls. He was one in a generation, Yehuda Fettaya. And I'm so proud, in a way, that I was zocheh, even though it happened in a very hard way. It wasn't easy to have this evening. It wasn't. I'm so proud of the fact that we were able to do it here in Lashem, in the oldest shul in Queens. Because this is really, it's something new. I don't know if there's anybody else who's doing this. Yehuda Fettaya was not just a tzaddik. He was a legend. It's not a mythical legend. I prayed by his kever. I prayed over there. And there's so many stories I could tell about his son, about the Gilgulim, this and that. It's late. I want to tell you guys that I hope that all you guys who ever took a candle upon himself, you're going to light that candle when you go home tonight. And you're going to pray for every single one over here. And B'ezrat Hashem, you guys will have a lot of success in your life. But don't forget, with great success comes with responsibility. And the Yetzer Hara
You gotta
works
overtime.
overtime to stop you
OD.
from continuing, but you gotta be smart. You gotta come with him, but tachbulot. Tachbulot is you gotta be sneaky. With the sneaky, you gotta be sneaky. That's how you can be successful.
Like, yeah.
Baruch Adonai, exactly. Like Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen, amen.